So American Republicans have been called out for their weirdness lately, and some of them are saying that this is too far. The same people who have been calling American leftists and Democrats wimps and weak for so long are now saying it's their rhetoric that's causing political violence in the United States. It's just so rich, so hilarious. You Republicans, you right wingers, you're always so funny. But I don't think it goes far enough. I think beyond the weirdness, there's a lot of sociopathy. A lot of sociopathy from the right wing. A lot of this sort of mindset that your stuff and your bank account and your property matter more than human lives. And anything that doesn't go to protect your stuff and your money and your property is woke. It's socialism, it's Marxism, it's Stalinism, it's whatever ism that you have no clue the real meaning of. Um, or, anything that looks to start evening the scales a little bit that have been tilted in favor of white people for so long is just DEI stuff, which is dog whistle N-word type behavior from Republicans and the right wing. Um, the left wing, the world over, generally speaking, they care more about human beings and the issues that affect them, especially climate change. Because while the planet, of course, will be here after we're all dead, we're trying to stop that part from happening for as long as possible. So the way to do that is to invest in ways to make it better. And the right wants none of that. And in fact, it is that is one of the main reasons why there's been such a scourge of right-wing idiocy all over the world. It's because you've got farmers out there who are being asked to cut their emissions, do some of these things, to make sure that you have the ability to have a farm in 50 to 100 years, because it's kind of hard to farm when there's no arable land to farm. Just something to think about. But all these farmers, typically right-wing farmers, came out and said, no, we don't want that. And it resonated with people. It resonated with the same people who complain about having to use paper straws, which, when you think about the waste and emissions of billionaires, yeah, us having to use paper straws is pretty ridiculous. But still, all of these things, at least from what I've seen, that's one of the main reasons is this hatred of anything green, because it's like, we lose money now. We're not going to be as prosperous now, just so, future generations, and I'm not even going to be alive to see thrive and grow, just so they can be okay. Why should I care about them? Well, people used to care about them. That's the thing. That's the beautiful part about humanity, is that people used to care about the generations that came next. They say, leave the next generation better than yours, and that just got lost. And here we are. People on the left are always trying to advocate for policies that help people, that help disadvantaged people. And the right is always trying to make it into some kind of, especially actually almost exclusively in the US, they'll say it's socialist, communist. That's the best defense that they can muster, because education means nothing to them. And that's another hallmark of the left, is that education is important. An educated population is important for progress, and an educated voter base is important for progress, to move forward and not backwards, like the right wing always wants to do. And the right, they're perfectly okay with education systems being defunded in favor of people going to trade school, or in favor, and they don't even fund the trades or adult education anymore. They don't care about that kind of stuff. In favor of just giving people jobs, throwing jobs at people, and thinking that that's going to fix the world's problems if everybody has a shitty paying job that gets them the bare minimum to get by, while they're struggling and still struggling and burnt out and intensely overloaded. And these are the same people on the right who look to these billionaires, these obscenely wealthy people, as paragons of virtue, and that we as mere peons, we should be doing what we can to help them because they're helping us somehow. These sociopaths, you know? These are the ultimate sociopaths in our society. Billionaires are the ultimate sociopaths. I don't care how much money they give to charity. The fact of the matter is, if they were paying their fair share, there wouldn't have to be those charities in the first place. If money was being distributed the way that it's supposed to be distributed, they wouldn't need to have those charities that they just use as tax write-offs anyway. They're sociopaths looking up to sociopaths. So I don't think it goes far enough when we call these Republicans weird. When we call them weird for their obsession with Donald Trump, a guy who has sexualized his own daughter very, very publicly, a guy who references Hannibal Lecter as if he was a real person, a guy who's a convicted rapist. Take your pick. When they start to be called weird, I just don't think it goes far enough. I think that if we were to call right-wing ideology what it really is, sociopathic, then maybe we could actually start, and maybe not even then, but maybe we could start making a little bit of real progress towards progress in this world, because the way it stands right now, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere as a species. We're going nowhere as a people. We're not even we're not even a people anymore, because we're all fighting about 70 different things because they, the billionaire class, and the politicians in power, they want us to do that. So we oblige, happily. We oblige. There is nothing not weird about the right wing, no matter where you go in this, especially if they are people who are poor and they are of the working class. There's nothing that is not weird about them. But I would go as far as to say that they are sociopaths, and their ideology is anti-humanity. They don't give a shit about humanity. The only kids they care about are unborn kids who aren't even real kids, And I think if the conversation, this whole, calling them weird, it's a good start. It's a good start because, even though, yes, I know that right wing, left wing, these things differ from place to place, but American Republicans, oh my God, when it comes to people who are even a little bit right wing, they are the looniest of the loony, especially with their gun obsession, which is something that almost everybody I've talked to here in Finland finds very, very weird. And just Europeans in general, they look to the, first and foremost, the gun obsession. The way that people are just mesmerized by their guns, and that's really fucking weird. But I think it's an extension of the sociopathy of the ideology of the right wing, which is just getting stronger and stronger, and it's really fucking sad. So, good start, but we can do better.